Day 2 of 3XBA Spokane, presented by Delta Airlines here at Hoopfest 2025. We're under the pavilion and we are ready for quarterfinal action in just a couple of moments. Joined by the former Gonzaga basketball player and professional basketball player, Shaniqua Nilis. I'm Austin Getz. Shaniqua, we saw 12 games from these 8 teams yesterday, and we saw them show out. Now we see the reward for that work, the seeding, and the chance to take home first prize.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Hoopfest, you're going to be a fan of 3XBA action. The Crown and Fellowship of the Rim, 2 great teams are going to battle it out for you guys this afternoon.
This game features the home team on the scoreboard, the Crown, and the visiting team on the scoreboard, Fellowship of the Rim. Let's meet the teams, starting with the Crown. From Yale, number 23, Roxy Barahman. From Ole Miss, number 4, Madison Scott. From Indiana, number 10, Grace Berger. And from Lafayette College, number 19, Natalie Kucowski. And for Fellowship of the Rim, from Stanford, number 3, Ashten Prechtel. From Columbia University, number 22, Camille Zimmerman. From Oregon State, number 28, AJ Marotte. And from Harvard, number 42, Harmoni Turner. This is our first quarterfinal matchup of the day. The 12 games that we had yesterday were split into 2 pools, which determined seeding for the action we have today. All 8 teams that we saw yesterday, Shanique, was still in action. We'll see a lot of rematches that we saw yesterday, but it is important when you have that number 1 seed next to your name, and that is what the Crown earned with 3 wins yesterday.
Yeah, the Crown did a great job. I was really impressed with Kucowski, a 6'3" power forward, but just, we talked about it yesterday, Austin, when you're in this 3x3 style of play, it's fast. You have to be in great shape, but also you need to be able to be well skilled in all areas, both offensively and defensively. And I thought Natalie Kucowski helped her team get to this point.
Now, if you were watching Hoopfest Center Court action and stayed through the dunk contest, we appreciate it. 3XBA, the rules are a little bit different than what you see typically at Center Court versus what we've got in the FIBA sanctioned events. Now, what you'll notice the most are 2 things. One, a 12-second shot clock. So right now on offense, the Crown have just 5 left to use, as here's Grace Berger. Got to get something off, pulls up in the middle of the lane, can't hit it. Natalie Kucowski, though, an offensive rebound. The shot clock will reset after it hits the rim like typical basketball, but it only resets back to 12. So here's Kucowski driving inside and scoring, and that's what the other main difference is. You take the ball out of the rim, as here we've got a foul that'll go against Grace Berger, and it will put Camille Zimmerman on the line. After a made basket, you don't go up to the top and check ball like we do typically at Hoopfest. You take it right out of the rim. You have to take it outside the clearance line, which here for the 3XBA is the gray line on the sport court. After that, it's free basketball. Camille Zimmerman up with a free throw, and we are square at 1-1. Pull up by Roxy Barahman, misses everything that time. Tipped up in the air, though, and then tipped out of bounds. That's going to go back to Fellowship of the Rim.
And you'll see for both teams, whenever there's a dead ball, both teams are subbing in immediately. There's not a lot of downtime in 3x3, so they're trying to keep their bodies fresh throughout these quick matchups.
Here's Harmoni Turner with it. Turner steps back, lets it go. That one's off the mark. Natalie Kucowski comes down with the rebound. Inside to Madison Scott. Scott spins, she's fouled, and that will be the first foul on Fellowship of the Rim. The foul situation is similar if you're familiar with Hoopfest. 7 team fouls, and that brings you to the free throw line where you will shoot 2 free throws. There are no individual fouls, you cannot foul out, but team fouls still very important. You also have a 10-minute clock. Here's Roxy Barahman pulling up, misses her shot, gets her own rebound, puts it back up, can't connect. Madison Scott, though, right there for the third chance point, and that is a bucket for the Crown. 10-minute game clock, so we're down to 8:45. It's the first to 21, or, as a turnover here, whoever is winning when that time expires. Here's Harmoni Turner. Behind her back, drives through the lane and scores it.
And Harmoni Turner yesterday, I thought she waited too long to be aggressive towards the rim. It felt like she was trying to get her 3-point game going from beyond the perimeter, but to see her getting to the rim aggressively early, I think that's a great sign for Fellowship of the Rim.
The Crown on offense here, 2-2 game. Kucowski lets go of a 2. That one's off the mark. Turner with the rebound. Just under 2 minutes gone here in this first of 4 quarterfinal matchups we'll have today. Then we'll get into the semis and eventually the championship. Ashten Prechtel with a score, and then a steal immediately by Harmoni Turner, who steps back and lets go with a 2. Misses everything that time. It goes out of bounds. And it's going to be Fellowship of the Rim's ball up top.
And now with Kucowski out and you have Prechtel in, a little bit of a size advantage, so I'm hoping that Fellowship of the Rim looks to start getting her on some pick and roll action as you see Madison Scott attacking the rim, but great job by Marotte just keeping her body in front, able to tie up.
Madison Scott even thought it was a good job, gave her a high five after that to say, hey, great defensive play. Now all jump balls will go to the defense regardless of where on the floor or where on the shot clock they happen. Here's Harmoni Turner. Free throw line jumper is good as she's able to hit a little bit of an awkward looking jump shot, but kept in rhythm. So Fellowship of the Rim now takes the lead. That shot off the mark. Prechtel kept it in bounds, but it's taken by Roxy Barahman. The Crown back on offense here. Grace Berger driving, and the Indiana Hoosier up with her first bucket today.
Such a strong take. She handles physicality really well when she's going to the basket.
Pulls down a rebound here, has to take one extra step. You saw the communication from the bench as well. Natalie Kucowski communicating with her that she had not gotten past the clearance line yet, and that led to her taking an extra step back. Kucowski back out on the court. We've got 4 quarterfinal matchups coming up for you. This is the first, and now a turnover here, so the Crown will take over. 4-3 in the early going, still 7 minutes, more than that even, of game clock remaining. We did not have a game reach 21 points in regulation yesterday. Here's Kucowski on the way with the 2. That one's off the mark. Marotte the rebound. We did have a game reach 21 via overtime, but we did not have a game that ended, as here's a great little give and go, and Zimmerman takes advantage of the feed from Prechtel.
Great action there, a little backdoor, good little shuffle pass in the paint from Prechtel, as you see Berger getting into the paint as well. Nice soft touch on that.
5-4, Fellowship of the Rim still holding the lead. And we've got a media timeout. That's also something I forgot to mention, is media timeouts at under 7 and under 4. So early on, we're seeing a very balanced game. Not really surprising you here at a quarterfinal day, as you see this whole tournament has been best on best, but these teams are really ramping it up, because if you win your 3 games today, regardless of what happened yesterday, you're the champion.
And that feels good, and we've spoken about this yesterday, but the prize money that's on the line as well.
There you get a look at it right there, Shaniqua.
I mean, that's significant money, which for me as a former professional women's basketball player, like, that's incredible to see what 3XBA has put together for these young athletes. But also, they're just competitive in nature, and they want to be the champion of this thing. So in those huddles during the media, you saw a lot of conversations happening about how we can put more points on the board and be disciplined defensively. Harmoni Turner, again, I love when she's being aggressive towards the rim. It's a complete new dynamic for her team.
Natalie Kucowski with a quick bucket after Harmoni Turner had one. That makes it 6-5. AJ Marotte, shot blocked by Kucowski out on the perimeter. She clears it and goes back to the inside. 2 on the way from Zimmerman, from Barahman off the mark. Tipped out of bounds by Kucowski. It'll stay with Fellowship of the Rim. 6 minutes, 6 seconds remaining here in our first quarterfinal matchup of 3XBA Spokane. Been great to be with you. Hope you tuned in yesterday. If not, you missed some great games, but we've got some great games left to play. Here's Harmoni Turner, only one on the shot clock. Now that is what's tough. If you have a ball tipped out of bounds and you lose just a couple of seconds, Shanique, well, off that 12, it gets down to the end of that shot clock so quick.
Yeah, and I feel like Harmoni Turner, she's doing a little too much dribbling. It's not like 5-on-5 where you have a full shot clock that you can keep the ball in your hands for 5 or 6 seconds as you try to attack a one-on-one matchup. I think in 3x3, you have to just be very efficient and keep that ball moving. Everybody needs to touch it in a possession.
Absolutely. For example, this ball was checked in with just 8 on the shot clock. Grace Berger, in plenty of time, though, knocks that one down and evens us up at 6. Nice cut. Good recovery by Barahman, tips it out of bounds. It'll go back up top to Fellowship of the Rim with 6 on the shot clock.
You'll see in 3x3 as well, there will be a lot of play through that high post area. You'll see that teammates are posted up a little bit in that mid-range on the elbow, because then you can run some different flare screens. You'll see here right into an on-ball for Madison Scott. Kick, there needs to be more movement here. Can't let it get stagnant.
Got to get this one off. Berger spins baseline, has to put it up, didn't get it off, or excuse me, did get it off in time, but wasn't able to connect. 6-6. Good defense on the perimeter. Here's Turner, 4 on the shot clock, has to let it go, rattles out. Berger the rebound, quickly into the corner. Another thing that's different, you do not have to take it out to a certain line on the floor as long as you get it outside the arc. Good battle on the inside as Berger can't hit it. Madison Scott doing so much work in there. Can't get the bucket, but does get the foul. She'll go to the line.
Such an active wing in Madison Scott. She's so long and lengthy, very shifty, but also because of her athleticism, she's done such a great job here of getting her team second, third, sometimes fourth chance opportunities because she's just going relentlessly.
You look at the 3 games that the Crown played yesterday, 4 points, 3 points, and 1 point for her, but she absolutely had a massive impact. Ashten Prechtel tries the 2 off the mark. Kucowski the rebound in the clear. Grace Berger to Scott, back to Berger. She'll line up. Just a 1, had the foot on the line, but it is another basket for Grace Berger. She's up to 4 points, and the Crown has increased the lead to 2 halfway through this game. 4:30, blocked by Kucowski, her second out there on the arc, and then a shot clock violation to boot.
And again, there's just a lot of dribbling along the perimeter for Fellowship of the Rim. If the ball's on the left side of the court on that wing, there needs to be away action, down screen, flare screen, something to just keep the defense in motion so that hopefully you open up some driving lanes.
Madison Scott turns in the lane, puts it up short, and the rebound by Zimmerman to take it out. Here's Turner inside, Prechtel battling for position wide of the intended target. That'll be a turnover, and it'll go up top to the Crown.
Little down screen action for Grace Berger into a handoff, into an on-ball. This is how fast 3x3 is. You have so many actions in a very short amount of time.
Hard to keep up with. Harmoni Turner, head fake, drives, throws it high off the glass, off the mark. Kucowski the rebound in the clear. Over to Berger. Inside, and that'll be a foul called on Turner, which will be number 4, and that'll bring us to another media timeout. Well, if you're just tuning in, thanks for joining us. We've got a great set of games for you here on 3XBA Spokane, presented by Delta Airlines, but we've had a great day already with the center court action here at Hoopfest 2025. And that action will continue tomorrow, but right now we've got 3XBA to focus on, and here is the bracket of the games that we will see today. These were seeded based on how teams finished yesterday. So we've got the Crown and Fellowship of the Rim on this side of the bracket. The next game up will be the Chosen Ones and Dynasty. We'll get into the other 4 teams in our second semifinal bracket. And we did have 2 teams yesterday Shaniqua, in the Crown and Thundercats, who went 3-0, but it didn't look like we had a clear and away favorite team. Every team felt like they could beat each other.
Yeah, and I think that's a testament just to the style of 3x3 with the shortened 10-minute games. As you see, Turner able to get herself to the rim all the way to the backboard, but also with that 12-second shot clock, it doesn't lend for a lot of blowouts. It's very competitive games.
Kucowski inside, gets her own miss, and then is fouled. And keep an eye on that foul counter. That'll now be 5 on Fellowship of the Rim. The Crown leading 8-7 with Kucowski going to the free throw line.
The Crown are doing a great job of using Kucowski in ball screens. Then what's happening, especially when Harmoni Turner is on the floor, she just subbed out now. But whenever Harmoni's on the floor, they're involving her in pick and rolls, which is causing a switch, and then it leads to a mismatch with Kucowski with a smaller guard in the paint. So if I'm Fellowship, we have to think of a way to shut down that pick and roll, whether it's going over and chasing or a hard hedge, something to make the Crown do something different, because they've been very effective with that.
Fellowship of the Rim back on offense here. Shot clock already down to 6. Zimmerman feeds it over the top. Beautiful pass, and Prechtel lays it up.
Great pass, especially tough pass on the baseline. Prechtel, good hands to finish.
Pull up, Roxy Barahman. Inside, after the miss to Madison Scott. Scott falling away from Prechtel, playing defense, can't hit the shot. Turner the big rebound. Under 3 minutes to go here in this first quarterfinal. First of 4 we've got for you. No look feed over the top to Prechtel. 8 on the shot clock. She lets it go, draws the foul. And it'll be 2 free throws coming up for Ashten Prechtel.
A little bit of a clock issue. It's still running on the board here at the game.
We'll get that fixed here in a moment. Meanwhile, Ashten Prechtel goes to the line. They did just reset the clock.
I don't think it'll be an issue for our friends watching at home, but for the people with us under the pavilion, there is a little bit of a delay. So even if the human, hits stop on the clock, it'll keep going, but then it automatically resets to the right moment. But as a player on the court, I can understand where they're like, hey, wait, the clock is still going.
You immediately turn, you see those 3 seconds
the
tick
time
off.
and score, that matters in a quick game like this.
Obviously, it matters in any single game, but in this game entirely, I mean, we've seen possessions take just 1 or 2 seconds, like that
just
one
like
from
that.
Roxy Barahman, who knocks down the 2. The Crown back in front, 10-8. With 2:40 to go. Here's AJ Marotte, the Oregon State Beaver, tries to cut to the inside. Ball's loose, body's on the floor, and kicked into the corner. Barahman, corner 2 on the way, rattles out, Prechtel the board. Kicked out, Turner thought about the quick trigger 2. She's got Kucowski on her, tries to cross over, steps back into the 2. Off the mark, Scott, tough rebound, gets it over and gets it back all the way out near the back court. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Barahman, mid-range jumper, rattles home.
Barahman does such a good job, I think, of getting to her spot efficiently. Not a lot of dribbles, not a lot of crossovers. Just gets to her spot, rises up, knocks down that mid-range.
Now one out of bounds. It'll stay with Fellowship of the Rim. Just 3 seconds on the shot clock. Zimmerman steps into the quick trigger 2, nearly banked it home. Into the corner goes Berger, chasing it down. Grace Berger behind her back. Back into the middle with Turner and trail. What a block by Harmoni Turner. And kick back. AJ Marotte tries the 2. Can't get it to fall. All the way back out to Turner with a fresh 12. We're under 2 minutes to go here in this first quarterfinal. 11-8 the lead for the Crown. Harmoni Turner not able to connect. Out to Roxy Barahman on the arc. And there's a foul, and so here we go. The free throws coming into play here as now Fellowship of the Rim is out of fouls to give. That was their 6th. So it'll go back up top, but anything from here on out that they commit will result in 2 free throws.
Again, the refs are explaining the clock situation as well.
They're just double checking the fouls. 6 is correct on Fellowship of the Rim. So here on offense are the Crown. Under 90 seconds to play. Kucowski inside, Madison Scott. Scott drives. Has to put it up in time, can't get it to go, and now a jump ball. And all jump balls go to the defense, so Fellowship of the Rim will earn the possession here. With 1:11 to go.
Fellowship of the Rim, you got to get a basket on this possession. Under a minute.
AJ Marotte kicks it out. Ashten Prechtel, 2 on the way, halfway down but out. Grace Berger, the rebound, kicks it out. Roxy Barahman thought about the 2. Now backs it out. A minute to go here in quarterfinal, I should say. Number 1, Barahman drives and scores it. Count the basket, she'll go to the line for 1 more.
Great job by Barahman handling that pressure and just being a dog to get herself into the paint. If you're gonna, if you want that foul, I think you have to do it a lot sooner. You never want to foul a jump shooter or somebody that's trying to gather and finish.
And my apologies, it is 2 free throws even though the made bucket, so Barahman gets 1 more. Now leading 13-8. And 2 for 2 from Barahman. 6 points here in this first quarterfinal. Harmoni Turner puts it up quickly as now Fellowship of the Rim has to go fast. Prechtel, she can hit from 2. Not able to that time, gets her own board. Easy at the rim, but she missed it. Berger drives. 3 on the shot clock, puts it up, banks it in.
Great finish.
In the corner, puts this one up off the mark, and it's looking like the Crown are gonna stay unbeaten here at 3XBA Spokane as they now lead by 7. Fellowship of the Rim having to foul here. This will lead to 2 free throws for Grace Berger, and just 21 seconds on the clock. Berger also with a nice debut here on Saturday as she knocks down the first. That gives her 6 points with still 1 free throw coming.
And as we're closing in on our first game, just want to make sure that the people at home understand this is Olympic style 3x3 basketball. Like, you will see this in Los Angeles in 2028, and you will likely see some of these players. Like, we have Olympians playing in this tournament.
Absolutely.
There are elite pro players, including WNBA draftees and NCAA champions. Like, this is elite stuff.
High level basketball. Up and down all 8 rosters that we've seen yesterday. 16-8, the Crown just mere seconds away as they're still battling some clock issues here. But this is looking like it's going to be a win for the Crown to improve to now 4-0 here in Spokane after winning all 3 of their pool play games yesterday. I think they're just going to pull the players to the side as they are trying to get the clock situated, of course. Looking like it's not going to cast too much doubt on this one. Shaniqua, while we have a minute, just what a dominant performance by the Crown. Being the first to play is never easy.
No, it's not, and especially they're starting, you know, at 3:15 in midday. Just a lot of time beforehand to prep and get your mind right. But the Crown have done just such a great job of getting all 4 of their players involved. Grace Berger was aggressive to the rim. Roxy Barahman got her mid-range going early. Kucowski was dominant, both outside on the perimeter and pick and roll situations. And then Madison Scott was just a beast on the boards for them. So I think that's why the score discrepancy is what it is all 4 of them were very effective today.
16-8 with just mere seconds left as there's a foul committed by Turner. This will put Kucowski on the line. Kucowski was huge in the 3rd and final game for the Crown yesterday, which earned them that 3-0 record and that top seed. She had 6 points in that matchup. We're still having some clock issues here on center court.
I think they're planning on using the shot clock.
Yeah.
Something happened with the big scoreboard, but I believe there's 3 seconds left in this game, not just on the shot clock.
Right. Kucowski waiting for her second free throw, and that one's up and through. And that will make the final score in this one 17-8. 17-8, the first quarterfinal of the day as the Crown picks up the win, stay unbeaten here in Spokane, and advance to the semifinals. We'll take a break and come back with quarterfinal game number 2, 3XBA Spokane, presented by Delta Airlines here on SWX.